Hello, welcome to Design Time. I'm Jackie Lacey. We're in the middle of the season. It's getting a little cooler and crisper outside. Winter is upon us. So I thought I would take a few moments today to just talk about a couple of ways that you can adapt and change the way that you speak about your winter foliage and extend the life of that holiday foliage. What I find is that a lot of times when we're talking about Christmas or holiday foliage, such as the firs, the pine, the cedar, that when we say Christmas foliage or holiday foliage, it actually cuts down the uses that we have its availability for. So you want to make sure that when you're talking about holiday or Christmas foliage, that you use the term winter foliage, because if you incorporate some of your everyday foliages, as we've done here, you can see how it starts to bring in a little bit of that winter effect, and it will also allow you to utilize that product from about October and November until really up until February, when we switch over everything for Valentine's Day. So what I thought we would do was talk a little bit about how we incorporate this language into our selling, our marketing, our merchandising, everything we say and do. When we start to adapt what we're talking about and try to change something that has been so ingrained inside us, it gets a little bit challenging to remember that every time. So if you start to think it, then you will find quite often it's a lot easier to say it. That becomes your term. So make sure that when you're talking about those foliages, especially when we're looking at pine, here we have some of that beautiful Savannah holly, which isn't like the variegated holly with the red berries. It does have berries on it, but it's a much more useful product because it's that beautiful dark green, glossy texture. It's a little bit smaller leaf. The berries range from a brown, green to a bright red. So it can be incorporated even in January when most of your holiday sales have finished. Here, we've incorporated our winter foliage with salal and that beautiful magnolia. Using magnolia and reversing the side that's facing forward gives you not only that beautiful brown velvety backside, but also that dark green, luscious, glossy front side. So it's giving you two more layers of color that are also adding in layers of texture because of the change. Remember, if you use a hard surfaced foliage, you want to combine that with something that's a little softer, like the pine or the fir that we've added in here. Now, it would be very easy during the holiday period that we just drop in something like this that denotes a specific holiday flavor. But when it comes to January and we want to move in a different direction, then start thinking about the floral products, those white, icy looking colors, the white carnations, tulips, hydrangeas, any of the chrysanthemums that you might want to add in there, are going to take that into that winter feel. What we've done in this particular design here is we've incorporated that beautiful aspidistra foliage. We all know it. It's a broad, normally tropical foliage. We've used it to create a lot of depth and texture within this particular design, and then we've incorporated some of that beautiful drapey cedar. Gives it that luscious garden look, like we've brought it in from the forest. And it also happens to have some of the seed pods that are still attached to it, which even adds more of that woodland feel, especially for those January projects that you're working on. We've got the salal that's added in here, and then just to give it a little bit more frosty look, we've pearlized or gilded the foliage with a little bit of that super silver from Design Master that we've put on there. Looks almost like it's frosted, or that it has that little bit of sheen, a little bit of sparkle, adds that pearl look into that particular time of the year. Remember, with something like this, don't miss an opportunity when you find a beautiful branch like this one we found of the Savannah holly that you might want to use to create a really dramatic look to a design during the holiday period, and then if it doesn't sell during the holidays, it's very easily removed, and we can keep this in our inventory. Remember that a lot of these foliages for the winter period are going to hold up incredibly long time. They give you a lot of shelf life, which allows you a lot of opportunities to use them in different ways. Also, as we start to move into that winter period and we start to decrease our use of the cedar, the fir, and the pine, you can still continue using some of the holly or some of the broader based evergreen foliages to continue to create that woodland, that sort of woodsy feel that you might see out in the forest. Look about adding those in, because a beautiful piece of salal can go a very long way in incorporating a specific look to a design to give it a woodland feel, but also we can still continue to use that beautiful magnolia foliage, both the glossy side as well as the velvety brown side. Make sure that you extend the use of all of your foliages. Foliages today can add up very quickly, just like your floral product do. Remember that using the right amount of both really shows your expertise and your professionalism. We also want to take an opportunity today to say thank you so much to Fern Trust for providing us all of this beautiful foliage for us to work with. They're available to provide you with lots of foliage as well. So reach out to Fern Trust and get all of your everyday foliages as well as those specialty winter foliages that you're looking for your cooler. Join us again next time for Design Time. If you enjoyed that video and you'd like to see more, click the subscribe button.